up, everyone? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hold on one second. Let's do this. Give it a few seconds for people to show up. Slap that intro on. That's right, that's right, that's right. We got intro going. We will get to it in a second. Let me get signed into the chat and oh yes. And we can slap it over and get going. 1 second here. Oh, Killa's the first one in the morning. Let's go, buddy. Let us go. Johnny's gonna be pissed. Johnny's gonna be pissed. All right, let me get. I feel like this mic is in my face. Oh well. Quite a bit of news to get over overnight. Just like nonstop ripping mode. Oil is tanking. Gold is falling, but everything else is just can't stop, won't stop. So yeah, I know it's gonna be. I'm pumped. So mad I didn't swing my Netflix calls. Had the 385s at like $2, or less than. I had a 385s at $1.50. Whew, I'm mad. Yeah. But you know, I hit yesterday, which is pretty good. So especially coming back off of taking a few days off, man, it felt good to hit it. So all right, let's get into it. All right, we do have a couple of events. Well, we've got. Let's just get into play it, shall we? I hate this stock because it always makes me think of Fortinet, right? Upgraded to equal, overweight from equal at Barclays, raised our target at 395 from 364. This thing will continue to move, right? It is going full trifecta out of the tops. Looks like we had a squeeze release here a couple days ago. We were out of the dailies, the 4-hour, on our way to the weekly tops at 375. FT, put it on your list if you're interested in playing that. I haven't never played it, but it does move well. Okay, so if you're looking for something to play outside of our normal bread and butter, right, which is AMD, Apple, Netflix, Nvidia, Microsoft, Tesla, QQQ, and SPY, that should be a pretty decent one. Look for some pullbacks. We're gonna have support coming in 344, 343, right? Watch for the morning breakdown, right? Dipping back into support, holding the 2134 or yesterday's highs, right? This thing should continue to move, right? Yeah, it looks bullish across the board. All right, it was FT. Next up, Sentinel One. I actually did some work for them. Pretty decent company. They've got a lot of VC money, lots and lots of money. So looking for them to fall in from a 4-hour bottom to daily bottom, back down to weekly, daily mid. So that'd be a breakdown of 38.75, move to 37.50, back down to 32.83. Right? They're getting downgraded. So yeah. Anyway, Pinterest is back in the news. They're downgraded to equal from downgraded to equal at Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley. Mid challenging user trends and cuts target to 30 from 53. Right as they were getting that 34 50-day squeeze, they got that downgrade. They do have a lot of support here, right? So if you're interested in playing pins, have fun with it. I quit playing that stock a long time ago. All right, in healthcare. Nothing that we play, right? I'm not going to go into it. Financials. Nothing really in financials. Energy, industrials, and materials. FedEx back in the news. FedEx said it's Sub Birmingham to become president and CEO. Frederick Smith will serve as executive chairman. Well, they must have liked that news, right? So look for the 618 retrace for this thing to rip some more. FedEx. It's got its 200-day at 252, so there's definitely a move above 238.50, right? So above pre-market high. It's got blue skies to the 50-day on the 4-hour at 252. So FedEx, another possible move. Look for. I mean, it's coming off a daily top support, weekly mid. So like I said, if it can clear pre-market highs, pre-market highs. So the safe moves above 240 for a move to 252 on FedEx. think it can get there today. Okay. Southwest Gas announces $400 million stock offering. That's SWX. I've never played it, and it doesn't even look fun to play, to be honest with you. Looks like it moves maybe a buck or two a day. I'll just stay away from it. Oil demand in China is suffering from a fresh bout of high-profile virus clampdowns, with a staggering 8-day lockdown spanning its top financial hub, weighing on consumption. Yes, more oil issues. All right. In consumer news, Dave & Buster's had earnings yesterday. Right, Q4 EPS 52 cents versus 60. Boom, drop. Yep. Revenues 343 versus 364. Q4 comp sales down 2.6%. Saying the business strengthened through its first 8 weeks of Q1, during which comparable store sales increased 5.54%. Okay, so they didn't come out and provide any guidance, anything. They're just dropped down to the 200-day daily bottom, back up to the 4-hour mid. So maybe 41, right? They got to get back above this 50, 200-day on our intraday timeframes. If they can do that and regain the 21-day on the 4-hour, they may continue to build this wedge, right? I would stay away from it. There's way better things to play. Okay. That's about it. Let's see. In world news, in Germany, the GfK Institute said its consumer sentiment index, based on a survey of around 2,000 people, dropped to negative 15.5 points heading into April from a revised negative 8.5 points a month earlier, lowest since February 2021. In France, the INSEE official statistics agency said its consumer confidence index fell to 91 points from 97 in February, falling short of economists' expectations in a Reuters poll from 94, and the worst headline figure since February 2021. And in Australia, February retail sales rose 1.8% month over month, doubling the expectations, assisted by the ease of government restrictions, which elevated commodity prices, which are also cited. So basically what that says is that in Europe, stuff's horrible, but Australia's starting to open up a little bit, okay? We have a bunch of earnings today after the close. Most notably for us, nothing really. Micron, maybe. Could be fun to watch, right? They have earnings today. But that's about it. Unless, Chewy has earnings. Right. Chewy looks pretty poised. If they can retake the $50 price target, oopsie. Yeah. Looks like a big old cup and handle for me, though. So they do have earnings today. And what's RH? I can't remember what we've never played RH. All right, moving on. We do have some events today. Williams is speaking at 9, so before the open, that's going to affect. That's probably what that's got this market pumping right now. HPI and month over month, S&P composite. I don't know what that is, but this JOLTS jobs openings should be pretty good. That'll affect the market, and consumer index, or consumer confidence, right? So I guess a healthy market has lots of job openings. Okay. But that's it for today as far as events go. We will get into some of this stuff right now in a moment. Let's just clap this over here. All right. U.S. futures are moving higher in anticipation of hopes of a ceasefire in Ukraine-Russia as talks between both sides begin today in Turkey. This has bolstered global equities overnight. Global equities are up on the day so far. Yields are a bit higher, 10 years above 2.5%, and energy prices are firmer. Stocks got another late-day surge on Monday in what has been an overly impressive recovery off of the March lows, helped on by the reports that Russia is no longer demanding Ukraine be denazified in ceasefire talks. Russia appears to be willing to let Kiev join the EU as long as it remains non-aligned militarily. The positive market reaction and upward momentum continued. S&P now up 8 out of the last 10 days to start a new week and heading into a new month quarter as U.S. stocks erased early Monday losses to close at highs, topping key technical levels once again. In the process, investors continue to climb out of proverbial wall of worry. High inflation, aggressive Fed tightening expectations, raising long and short-term rates, commodity shortage, war, trade sanctions, a deluge of negative news over the last month. But the global markets have seen a V-shaped recovery off of the lows the last 2 weeks as nothing has dented optimism, and the VIX continues to fall to late January lows back down below the $20 level. That's an important new piece of news right there. Keep that in mind. Right? Bitcoin broke above 48,000 on Monday, moving to its high level of 2022, but it paired recent gains this morning. Okay, in Asian markets, the Nikkei index rose 1.1%. Go Bay, or 300 points. Shanghai slipped 0.33. Hang Seng rose 1.1, and in Europe, the DAX is surging about 2%, which is huge. That's a big move for the DAX. FTSE 100 gains 100 points, and U.S. economic data today includes the CoreLogic data for January, confidence boards measure of consumer confidence for March and February, and then the JOLTS jobs opening. In China, COVID-related lockdowns remain in place as cases surge. Everything sounds pretty good, right? I agree. Yeah. I would tend to agree. Things sound pretty positive, right? All right, what do we got here? This is our ES chart. Well, you know what, folks? It's followed our path. We've got, we got break over new highs. We're above the 200-day. We're going to get a 2150 crossover. Things looking pretty good. I'd be willing to look at this 127, 1414 extension for longer term plays. If we rallied off of here, right? The initial rally to pullback gives us a 127 at 46.19 or 1414 at 46.74.24. We are just now entering into a new, see this doji right here, to a new supply zone, right? I like supply zones that run the 127 to the 1414. I think that we get a lot of movement into here. Contrarian, we hit that 127 and reject and pull back to the snow line. If we do that, it would kind of screw up our wackadoodle Elliott wave that we got going on here. If this is a true beginning of a new Elliott wave, with this being the 1 point, right? 1, 2, 3 is usually double the 1. That would set us into all-time highs. Okay. I think we're looking pretty strong. Right? Cleared some key Fibonacci levels, cleared some key voodoo lines. I said that once. So if we went snow line to skyline, right? That skyline has us at 46.42. My fib level, which is, is it that one or is it this one? Right? Because if it's this one, then we don't have much room to go. If it's this one, we don't have much. This one here makes the most sense. Yeah, but it's kind of tough to do the extension. So definitely interested in what y'all's thoughts are for a move if we ran it right up to the snow line, and that's where everything lines up pretty perfectly. So I don't know if we can consider that a move. We'd have to look at something like this maybe. Yeah, what do y'all think we should drop our fib? That's right. Do we go from high to low and see what the retracement is there? I think I'm going to use these snow lines. So here are these skylines, 4640, 4700 targets on the ES. We're pretty much stacked positive across the board. All right, this is a 4-hour chart looking at the 30-minute. Same deal, right? Stack positive moving averages, making higher highs and higher lows. I like ES moving forward. All right, cracking over on the Nasdaq. So Nasdaq is where I'm very, very interested in see what's happening today on the Nasdaq. We're at a snow line. We're also at our 200-day, right? This is a key level. Like, do we break above it and get a close above the 200-day for the first time since January 22nd or January 19th, right? key level. We hit it once, rejected it. Hit it twice, rejected it. Sent us on a big downturn. Now we're coming back up, right? I've got a 618 retracement from the previous high, the previous low at 15,283. I got my 200-day coming in right at this key levels. I mean, it's right there at 15,124. We broke the $15,000 level. As soon as we broke over that, we just rallied up. We've back tested it so far, and we're just continuing to move. So, yeah, the Nasdaq's going to be very interesting today. Okay, said we're coming off a snow line. We do have a 618 retracement. We got a 127. All right, we've got a couple skylines here. We're coming up into some resistance. We could always just go snow line to snow line. Profit taking at each one of these skylines. Okay. I do like how my 1414 is pretty lined up here with this other skyline. So do we chop? Right? Do we chop in here for a little bit? Gather a little bit more momentum and strength, right? Or do we reject off the 200-day, right? Moving. Yeah, I think we're going to get above the 200-day. But what do we do over the next couple of days? Do we close? Like, do we hold it? Right? I think we get above it. Right? I think we test 15,239.50. Right? I think we test that 618 retracement. Or do we go white line to white line, back test to 200 for a larger move up? It's gonna be very, very interesting. Okay. So I think I'm going to be bullish on the Nasdaq today. Obviously, I've already got a couple of my favorites ready to go. AMD, NVIDIA, Microsoft, right? I think those guys will definitely help us out. Looking at it from a 30-minute perspective, we're still looking good. Looks like this trend line is held. If we do get pullbacks, let's just keep our trend line here. Right, up, held once, twice, 3 times. Like, this is a solid trend line to the upside. We're trading in this zone, right? There we go. Sorry it took so long for those things to load. But stack positive moving averages, 2150, 200-day, right? Big old bull flag breakout, right? I'm going to look to the 21-day on the 30-minute, right, for direction. Like, we get close below the 21-day, I'm going to back off the NQ for a little bit. Okay. All right, looking at the daily Dow. Okay, the Dow is in position where NQ is going to be today. See, yesterday we hit the 200-day. Today we opened up above it. We've got a 618 retracement, and that 618 is from this high to this low. So we're back testing that. If we can get close above that, I like my 1414 at 35,709, which is also previous high. All right, this looks pretty good. Okay, on the 4-hour, all right, we're stacked 2150. We've got a skyline target at 35,143, right? On our way up to the 127, 1414. I'd like to see maybe a pop-up, a little back testing to confirm that these levels hold. If that's the case, looking at 36,000. Okay, from a 30-minute perspective, right, we are right at that key level, right? Stacked, we're kind of a little extended from the 21-day on the 30-minute, right? We're right at that key fib level, right? If we can get above, right? See above this skyline here, next step up. If we reject it, we can always ride this 21-day, okay? If we fail the 21, I'm going to back off and wait for things to come down to test the 50-day. But I think that we're going to maintain that 50-day on the daily Dow. Next up is the old Russell. So I don't know. There's been lots and lots of news coming out about AMC and GameStop. Okay, AMC is pretty heavily weighted in the Russell. So if we get that ape squeeze coming in to help us out, right? We could get a push to make new high. I like the 1.6, I like this fib level here. See how we're just that 1.414. I keep pushing it because it's so powerful. Look at the down, or look at the Russell. It hit the 1.414. Hit it again. Hit it again. Hit it again. Hit it again. Right? If it clears it, right, it's going to gap to the 1.618 back. So snow line to snow line. We still haven't tested the 200-day. Right? This isn't a bull flag or anything like that. This is super chop zone from tree line to tree line to, I don't even know what to call this, but we're looking today to get Russell moved to so previous high is at 2103, right? 2103, 2115. We can close above 2115. I think it's it's going to be an easy move the next couple of days. Contrarian, if we reject that, right, we've got support down here at 2038, which is the 21-day, right? We got a rising 21-day, we got a falling 50 and a falling 200. Okay, looking at it from a 4-hour perspective, right? Watch for this 2150-day bounce, right? This is a nice move here. Look at that, so clean. There it is. Let's target 2115 today. We profit at 2103. Okay. Possible up, back up. Hey now. That's the 4-hour. Let's bring it down to the 30-minute. See if we got any changes going on here. All right, 30-minute looks good. Big move up. All right, big move up. Back test support. Fighting our way up. This is gonna be our magnet. 2115 is a magnet. So far it looks pretty good, right? Like there's a micro supply zone up here. You'll see that. So that's really it. Okay. All right. Next up on our list is gold. All right. So we broke out of our little wedge, unfortunately. So let's get rid of that sucker. This is still valid overhead resistance. This right here is the 50-day 382 retracement, right? From this low to this high, we came down, we tested the 382 once, couldn't get above the 618, gave up the 21-day EMA. We're coming back down to test the 50-day SMA and the 382. If we close below 1890, we back test the 200-day at 1818. We bounce off of here. I mean, we can easily chop in gold, just like we've been doing, okay? But this is a strong move down, okay? All right, pretty strong move down. Do you see that, right? It's a strong move down. We gave up the 200-day on the 4-hour, so we're kind of free falling, right? There's no support here until we get down to the daily, I think, which is this purple line. I think I drew that there for a reason. Yeah, there we go. Just all right. So the 382 retracement is also the daily 200 SMA. So I move down to here. Do we kiss it and come back? Right. At a previous low, 1895. Right. Do we bounce? Or do we go and make a new low? So not looking the best for gold. Like we're coming down. We're at a demand zone right now. There is a demand zone that runs basically where we're at now. Are there buyers here? Right. or are they going to sell this, right? So do we get a bounce here and a little rally back up to this 21, and they sell this, right? They sell the rip to 21 for a larger move down on the break of this area here. So key levels, very, very key levels, psychological 1900, right? That's gold. Okay, moving on. Crude. All right. WTH, right? What happened? Well, so we gave up the 312. So this fib level here, this one right here, is no longer valid. Goodbye. There's a minor trendline support coming in at this previous high, but this is ugly, right? This is ugly on crude. And those are big moves down, okay? There is a demand zone down in here. I'm going to look for this trend line retest, right? So move down to approximately 98 before we get a bounce. Okay. That's just a real ugly. All right. And then finally, what do we got going on here? Bonds, we're at a sky or a snow line, right? This is TLT. We got a couple closes below that, right? But it does look like so snow line doji. If we make a lower low, the next move down would be to 138 TLT puts, right? Definitely opportunity in TLT if you wanted to play the equity version of this, but it's stair stepping its way down. Okay, looking at it from a 4-hour perspective. It's trying to maintain that snow line. If it fails, we've got skyline 144, skyline 142, right? It's perfect rejection move to the downside. Okay, from a 30-minute perspective, this just chop, right? It's hugging this line, this snow line, because it realizes if it makes a new low, it's got nothing to support it till it moves down to 144. Okay. All right. And then finally, oh, I still never figured out the yen. It's a Japanese yen, dude. Derp. Is it? No. 6J. There it is. Found it finally. Jeez. Save that sucker. So the yen is obviously just falling off the face of the earth. This is good for us. Okay, so we can go back to saying, remember, if you're new to the stream and you haven't really been around for just some of the rules of thumbs that we have here, right? The easiest one to remember is bottom row down, top row up. That's the way we like to trade futures. No, what I'm saying is that if this bottom row is down, then usually we get a nice strong moves on our top row, which is, God, that's a spaghetti mess. All right, I'll find out. I think I'm going to find a cleaner version of our futures chart, so maybe we'll get that going. Okay. All right. Next up, I'm going to run through our bread and butter list really, really quickly because I want to see what's going on with some of the key stocks that we trade. Okay. Our bread and butter list is easy. It consists of Apple, AMD, Google, Nvidia, Tesla, SPY, QQQ, and Netflix right now. Okay. That may switch out in the future. I may swap Netflix with Facebook. It's my little random wild card one, but let's get started on Apple. Big move yesterday on Apple, right? Big move yesterday on Apple. Okay, Apple's coming up to the top of a supply zone. Okay, if it can crack that, I like 177.50 calls today, right? And that's just can't stop, won't stop. So pre-market broke new highs, right? We were almost back to highs since January 12th, right? If it can clear that, I like this snow line up here. Got a 127, right? Oh, that's new. Wait a minute, what happened? Hold on. All right, so yesterday, big gap up, back test, rally, right? Up, back test, rally. AMD, look at this insane move. We were at a skyline. I like AMD 125 calls. I was going to say the 122s today, but I think that those are going to be super expensive off of this big move up already. Okay, we hit this skyline. We got support at 121.77. If that support holds and this trend line support holds, 125s. If it cracks 120 puts, right? And that's it. If it below 120, we retest the 50-day at 118, and it's just going to be super ugly. AMD is super strong like bull right now. Right, we had a 21-200 cross up, like just strength. So targeting 125, 126, 50, 127, 128. Like right now, we have no resistance to 125. Right. Once we get above 125, we get a little choppy, chopperoonie. Watch this 50-day 200 crossover. That's going to help things explode. But do keep in mind, see, let's not forget this guy right here. Okay. Is that a perfect channel? It very well could be. Let's see if we can get. I mean, it's pretty close. I'm not going to lie. There is that channel we got to be aware of. This is the 4-hour channel up. We would know if it back tests to 21 and holds, I'd go long on it. Okay. All right, that was AMD Google. How am I doing on time? Google, next one, like I said, 2900, 2945, 2970, 3000s, right? It's just stair stepping its way up. If it can launch off of this skyline, right, it's got clean air basically up to 2905, 50-day, 200-day cross up, 21 crossover, stack positive moving averages. I don't have a squeeze up on this, but let's looking at it from a 30-minute perspective. We're taking out previous highs from back on last week, right? Like just Google looks really good. I need to note that someplace for some lottos. Like the 2905s, okay? But I want to see Google pull back, right? And test this support that's going to show up in a minute because it's super slow. This is a big move up, right? Oh, what did I do? What just happened? All right, gappy to gap, don't come back. All right, we need that pullback. I want to fade to previous highs, so fade to 2840, or even down to the 21 day on the 30-minute, right? Every time it hit, there it goes. So I want pullback to support, and then we go long on Google to 2905. Okay. EMA bounce. Yeah, Google looks good. Hold on, I gotta let my boy know about this. Okay. Next up on our list is NVIDIA. Vidi is just put on a clinic right now, okay? NVIDIA is putting on a clinic. So, big old flag happening right here off of snowline to snowline, right? 290s should be easily attainable with, by NVIDIA, right? If we're lucky, we can get a pullback to 272, right? So I got the NVIDIA 270 puts on a pullback. Once those hit, I'll look at loading those 290 calls. Above 290, we got a 308 tree line. Tree line is more, all right, so we got fire line and tree lines are magnets, then white lines, then purple lines, okay? So above 290, we hit 308, reject 290, we chop at 280, right? This is super bullish. NVIDIA is putting on a clinic, like I said, with its moves, right? Up, consolidate, up, support, up. It's right in the 21, but we just finally got a 50-200 crossover. We got a 21 day. Like I said, look at that perfect snowline to snowline. Okay. We have resistance at 297, 301 on our move to 308. We reject this. We have support at 288, 284, down to 280. Follow the 21 day. Okay. Best thing we could get would be a dip to pre-market lows for a rip. Is there a trend line there? Possibly. Possible trend line support as well, right? I'd rather use the 21 day. All right, next up is Tesseract. So Tesla does what Tesla wants to do. Tesla is kind of extended in my opinion, but again, it does what it wants. Nobody's going to tell Tesla what it wants to do, right? Tesla is coming up to previous highs at 1125. So fire line to tree line, right? Look at this. Do you see this wedge breakout? Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. Bull flag breakout, gap up, gap and go, or gap and crap. So if Tesla fails, 1036, 1012. Okay, we just got a 2150 200 cross. Well, we got a 21 200 cross. Waiting for that 50 200 cross to happen. Magnet, obviously. 1190. God, that's a massive move up. If Tesla fails 1080, I think it back tests 1038 and 1012. Okay. If 1080 holds, 1150, 1200. Okay. That's so good. I need to write that down. Tesla 1080 support holds. We hit 1150, 75. Breaks. We 1040, 1015. All right, moving on. The spiddity spy, right? I don't know much more to tell you than the spy broke the 200-day. We're gonna get a 2150 cross up and over, right off of the snow line. Retest previous highs at 456. I think that if we can clear that, then we launch, right? Big move up. If we reject that, we can easily back test 450, 448. Give a little bit of time for the 50-day to catch up to the 200. If this is a 1, 2, 3 move, it's going to be massive. Got a 1414 at 472. So SPY 472s. If it fails 460, supports at 450, below 450, then we look at some of these downside moves. Okay, this is just strong leg bull. Okay, moving on. How am I doing on time? How am I doing on time? To Qs. All right, we're gonna get a 5200 cross up our test today. Right. So far we got stack positive moving averages. We're coming into a little bit of resistance, right? Skyline on our 375 magnet, right? 376. I'm sorry. If we can start clearing some of those, we can go snow line to snow line. Supports at 360, 366. Below 365, we go 360, 357. So basically we bounce back and retest this 21-day. Looks like we got some trendline support there as well. Ooh, I just got heartburn. But I mean, looks pretty good. Netflix. Looks like we got a little micro zone right there that's been support and resistance before. So 395 is key. Above 395, I think we move up to 414 pretty easily. If we reject 395, right, we can definitely chop within that snow line, but this is consolidation. I like the Netflix 390 calls, right? Also like Netflix above 395, 414 calls for a longer term move. I think Netflix is definitely poised to make a move. All right, that's it for the bread and butters. Let's get into user requests. All right, what you see in front of you is a smart money dark pool and block trade algorithm software provided by FlowTrade. The FlowTrade has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, like thousands of man hours to create the Flow Index, which tracks large institutions, hedge funds, smart money, dark pools, block trades, and like large institutional large institutions. They've created the Flow Index. Now the Flow Index, right? This is purple line. The green bars are price action. What we look for is we look for opportunities where the Flow Index and price have deviated, and we take advantage of that deviation. Okay. Currently, right? So smart money selling out of Netflix yesterday as price was going up creates a little bit of bullish divergence that you see there. So divergence occurred at approximately this dark pool level, 371, right? If the Flow Index continues to make lower lows and lower highs, it will drag price back down to that point of divergence, so that divergence can play out. We have a dark pool block trade at 378.51 for Netflix. If price can get above it, that will act as support. If it can't, it'll be resistance and pushing it back down to this next block trade. So 371 to the downside, Netflix making that move back up, right? It should be very interesting to see what happens here, right? I'm interested to see if the flow index, they start buying into this on this breakout, or if they continue to sell this rip, taking profit, because they're in, they're in back here somewhere. Okay. All right, so get me your requests. First person in always gets the first request, and Killer was in this morning. What has he got? Killer didn't have any requests. Johnny was next. Johnny wants to look at a few. Let's pull up this 4-chart layout. He wants to look at MS. Oh, he's thinking there's going to be some financial plays, huh? So MS, Boeing, broski. And then Terry, morning Terry. Let's look at SPY. Neo, so I'm kicking myself for not taking Neo yesterday. Seriously, just kicking myself. All right, MS, Morgan Stanley. So net selling for the last couple of weeks, right? Let's see, that divergence played out. Trading with price. All right, so we are at a regular block, a little Wu-Tang reversal. I don't like how there's this bearish divergence. So if we can't fill this gap from 91.50 to 92, right? I think that we start a downturn below 98, 90.81, and right, as soon as we break that trend line, I think we back test and try to fill this gap back down. Just know that smart money's been, they're net selling, right? All right. Boeing. Last 6 days, right? Let's see. So Boeing's got white line. So I mean, the blue lines are dark pool block trades. These red lines are regular, and white lines are good time, right? That means that there's a regular and a dark pool that are printed on top of each other. Those are key inflection points, right? Make sure you mark those up on your chart. 180, 188.25 is the one for Boeing, right? So the flow index is essentially trading with price, and the flow index is wedging itself, right? See how the flow index is trading with price now that I draw 2 triangles up on there? BA above 189, 191, 192. If it rejects this level, it's really squeezing itself. Below 185.64, we get a pullback to 180, but we made a high, we made a higher low, we made a higher high, barely. So watch for this wedge breakout. BA is on my no trade zone. I think there's other ones that we could trade. I'd rather go trade FTFT, right, than BA, because it's just so erratic and sporadic. It doesn't really follow along with the rules. Okay. PayPal. So PayPal is a little interesting here, right? Got white line support at 113.85. We have a cluster of regular and dark pool levels at 116. The flow index made a high, made a higher low, made a higher high, made a higher low, right? Had a little bit of a wedge breakout. Excuse me. But as you can see, it's roughly following a channel and it's uptrending, right? So it's trading with price action, moving price up with it. As you can see, a little breakout. So PayPal above 150, above 116.50, we see 120 again, and that would fall right in line with that next move up to test the upper end of the flow index channel that it's in right now. Okay. It looks pretty good, to be honest with you. Contrarian, if it rejects, it's got white line support, right? It's got some support down here at 113.85, but it's also got regular block at 115 and a dark pool at 114 to support it. So if it does dip, I think it's got support underneath it. Okay. All right. Next up is the SPY. So look at this interestingness on the SPY. Okay. I don't need 8 days worth of block trades on SPY. I usually only look at the last 3 or 4. All right. So what I'm seeing is the flow index is at a key level, right? That divergence traded out. That divergence traded out. We've got brand new divergence. If the flow index can bounce off of this level here, right? If the flow index can bounce, then it's only a couple of hours of divergence. 456.05. I think SPY is due for a down cycle. I don't know if it's going to be an extended one or if it's just a quick blip down to the next move up. We need to see what happens with the flow index. If it bounces here, then it can continue to push SPY up. It's just because all this previous divergence is traded out, right? Traded out, traded out. Dark pools 456, support 451, 452, consolidation in 455, 454, 456 level, right? Or 454, 455 is consolidation. Should be interesting to see what happens. All right, next up, Neo. All right, Neo looks strong still. Yep. I like Neo for continuation. It's trading, the flow index is trading with price. We're at a regular block at 21.21. Above that, we hit 22.23. I don't know what Neo's doing pre-market, but I'm mad at myself for not buying commons yesterday. So mad. So very mad. If we get a pullback to support, right? 21.63, I think we get a move to 22.43 or 22.65. That's a decent move. Oh yeah. However, we need things to cycle, right? So we had a high compression or medium compression, low compression squeeze release, right, to the upside. So we're going to get, couple hours of this releasing, but I'd like a cycle back to support, right? Wherever that may be at 2150 or 2130, catch that next cycle up to the dailies. Flow index is making higher lows and higher highs. It's dragging price with it. White line support at 2050. Below that, we have a couple dark pulls down here that have acted as support. We break down below that, we gap fill, and it just, right? There'll be a flood of people coming in to buy it at this level, like down here. I don't think we're going to hit 15s and 16s again for a while on NEO, right? It's a big move, right? Gap up, rally up, right? Maybe, NEO looks good. All right, AMD. Another one of those interesting flow trade things. Right, look at the flow index. Flow index is making a big old bull flag. I know some people say the flow index doesn't make, the patterns in it don't matter, but to me they do, right? Because basically the flow index is trading with price right now, and we break out above that. So AMD above 120 gets woody, and I think we get some big old moves up. Looks like there is kind of a channel there. All right, looks like there is a channel. If that's the case, our next top of the channel should be 122, 123. Okay. All right, next up on our list is, tech's definitely on watch. What's up, Kirby? What's up, Nard? Apple. So, by rule, divergence must trade out. Apple's at the 1414. If this were any other stock, I would be like, this is bearish as heck, right? But it's Apple, and so let's see. That divergence traded out. That divergence traded out. Apple's got white line at 175, dark pull at 175.50. Below that, it's got a ton of support all the way down to 173.50. There is a big old nasty trend line there. Yes, it looks overextended, but it's also got this, it's like a little wedge breakout back test for continuing to move up. The flow index is buying. If the flow index starts making higher highs and higher lows, then it's going to get ugly. All right, that was Apple. Google. Higher highs and higher lows. Like I said, Google is triple topping, right? If it can crack 2850, it launches up to 2905, right? But if it rejects this, What's interesting is there's no block trades in the last 3 days. Or there's a dark pool. There's one dark pool at 2831 that came in yesterday after the close. Those are buy orders Google's going to launch, right? So Google support at 2810-esque. Below that, we've got one final support at 2800. If Google breaks below 2800, then I think we get a larger downside move. Okay. All right, that's it for me. Thanks for joining me. I'm Dark Pool Algo. I'm here every morning, Monday through Friday. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate the support. Appreciate everybody reaching out to me, making sure I was okay. I felt the love. I really, really appreciate it. Have a great day. Stay safe. Stay green. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out the door, and share this with your friends, family, coworkers, neighbors, everybody that you think that could benefit from this content. Working really hard on making sure that I get y'all some stuff that really helps you out. Final look at the futures before we walk out the door. Let's look at it from the fives. All right, big moves across the board, y'all. Big moves. Not super thrilled about this bond move that just took place in the last 10 minutes, or this move on the yen that took place in the last, what? The last hour? Okay. This is market confusion. When bonds are up and the ES is up and the yen is up, yeah, just confusion. Okay. I like this move right here. I like that 2150 bounce. Oh, man, that's gorgeous. Looks like it happened across the board. I want this gap up to be erased pre-market. So I want us to fall down over the next 30 minutes to support so that we can just rip. If not, we're going to have to gap fade in the morning. Okay. I'm out.